Hello, welcome to this lesson where we are going to solve ECZ Maths Paper 1 in full. We are going to solve all the 23 questions in this lesson, okay? My name is Mondo Bright Chaumba. I'm a teacher of mathematics at Nyumbanga Secondary School here in Lusaka, Zambia. So I'll take you through the 23 questions that were in this past paper, which is for 2018 paper 1, the internal, the November one, okay? I mean, the GCE, that is GCE, okay? That is the paper that we are going to be solving. So we are going to solve all the 23 questions, all right? So we have the first question. We need to simplify. We need to simplify, okay? We need to simplify the first one. What does it mean to simplify? We need to get rid of the brackets and identify if we've got common terms and then put them together and then simplify them. So in this case, we need to get rid of the brackets. What do? You multiply. So for the first one, we are going to get 4x plus 8y. Okay? Then here, with this minus, it is going to give us minus 3x. The minus and this minus are going to get a positive 8y. Okay? At this point, we put the like terms together, which is 4x minus 3x plus 8y plus 8y. This is going to give us x minus or plus 16y. This is what will be the answer to the first question. Okay, so let's move to the next one. Let's move to the next question. Next question. Okay? Let's move to the next question. Evaluate. What are we evaluating? 27. What is the index? 2 over 3. Okay? So here, look at the index that we have. It's a fraction. So we need to find the cube root. The cube root of 27. Then this one, the continuing index. So we're going to have the cube root of 27 and 2 here. The cube root of 27, what number do we multiply by itself 3 times in order for us to get 27? Okay? Think of that number. It is going to be 3. So this 3, we need to keep the 2 here. What do we have? 3 multiplied by 3. 3 multiplied by 3, we're going to get 9. Take note. Students make mistakes here. They multiply 3 by 2 and get 6. That is wrong. You need to multiply this one by itself. Okay, we move on to question 3. I said we are going to do how many questions? 23 questions, okay? By the end of this lesson. A straight line passing through A and B has the gradient of 2. Find the value of y. So we need to find the gradient of these 2 points. This line, okay? So gradient is represented by the letter M. And we say y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So let me bring you here. We are going to call this one our x1, this one our y1. This is going to be our y2 and our x2. So let's substitute in the formula. Our y2 is y minus our y1, which is 2 over our x2 is 5 minus, what do we get? 3. This must give us negative 2. Are we together? Then you simplify this, it's going to give you y minus 2 over 2 here is equals to negative 2. This is equals to negative 2. This is equals to negative 2. Okay? Then at this point, we need to cross multiply. We cross multiply, what are we going to get? Y minus 2 is equals to negative 4. Then y is equals to negative 4 plus 2. Our y is equals to negative 2. So the value of y here is negative 2. That is the value of y. We move on to question 4. Remember, what did we say? We are going to solve 23 questions. We are going to solve 23 questions. So we go on to question that is asking us to factorize. Now, in our syllabus, we taught 4 methods of factorization. So we need to look at how do we factorize this one. So the first method that applies to this question is a common factor method. Okay? It's a common factor method. 5 is common here, so we're going to have 5x squared minus 1. Right. Then when you look at this one, can we further simplify it? If you are in grade 9, you are going to end there because we only teach one method of factorization in grade 9. So then at this point, we go on and say 5x squared minus 1 squared. We can factorize what is in the brackets using a method known as what? A difference of 2 squares. So the final answer is going to be 5x plus 1 x minus 1. Okay? So let me take you to question 5 now. Okay? So question 5 up to the last question, we are going to solve them right in the paper so that you can see how you are supposed to solve them and the answer right in the paper. So that is what we are going to do for the remaining questions. Okay? That is what we are going to do for the remaining questions. So here is our question 5. Use set notation to describe the shaded region in the Venn diagram below. Okay, so how do we describe this? First of all, when you look at A and B, it's like A and B, both of them are shaded. The entire A and B is shaded. Okay, so then the only thing here, okay, that is not shaded, it is C. So we say C complement. Okay, we say C complement. That is our answer there. Okay, so we can write this answer here. A union B intersection E. This is intersection C complement. Okay, take note. So question is 6. Given that given that C, we have this matrix, D is this matrix, express CD as a single matrix. So we need to multiply these two matrices. How do we multiply? Okay, so CD means 5, negative 1, 2, 1, then we multiply by negative 2. So how do we multiply matrices? Row by column. 5 multiplied by 1, it's 1, plus negative 1 multiplied by negative 2, sorry, this is 5. Negative 1 multiplied by negative 2, this is going to give us 2. Then we come to 2 multiplied by 1, this is going to give us 2. Then we continue, negative 1 multiplied by, this is going to give us negative 2, okay? Then this is going to give us 7 and 0 here. So this is the matrix that we need to write here, 7, 0. This is the matrix that we need to write here, okay? Then when we come to question 7 reads that the first 3 terms in an AP, which is arithmetic progression, are 5, 7, and 9. Find the common difference. So A, which is common difference is represented by D. This is second term multiplied by, subtract first term. So second term is 7 minus 5. What do we get? We're going to get 2. So our first term is what? Our first term here, our common difference is 2. Then the sum of the first 12 terms, the sum for the nth term is equals to n over 2, 2a plus open brackets n minus 1, then close brackets. This is the formula that we use. So our n is 12, so we have 12 divided by 2, then 2 multiplied by the first term. What is the first term? The first term is 5. We add n minus what? N minus 1, and our n is 12. So 12 minus 1, we get 11 multiplied by the common difference, which is what? 2, okay? So this is going to give us 6 here, and we have 10 plus 22. We have 10 plus 22, then this is going to be 6 multiplied by 32, okay? When you add this 10 plus 22, it gives you 32. And what are you going to get? This is going to give you 192. So here you are going to get the sum of the first 12 terms is 192. 192. That's what we are going to get. Okay. So BA reads, in a game the probability of a player losing is 0.3. What is the probability of a player winning the game? So the probability of losing, okay, plus the probability of winning, this must give us what? 1. So here we want the probability of winning. So the probability of winning is equals to 1 minus the probability of losing. So 1 minus 0.3. What do we get? Okay, this is going to give us 0.7. So here the probability is 0.7. Then we have what? We have B. So B here, B, this was our A. So B, what is B? The coordinates of B and C are 2, 5 and 4, -3 respectively. If M is a midpoint of BC, what is the position vector of M? So we need to add these two and divide them by 2. So we can say 1/2, which is division. Then you add this one. The first one is what? 2, 5, okay, plus 4, okay. Now since the other one has a minus, so we're going to say it's supposed to be plus this, but it will be minus 3. Okay, so what do we get? It will be 2, then we have 6 and 2 here. When you divide this, what do you get? 6 divided by 2, you're going to get 3. 2 divided by 2, you're going to get 1. So this is the vector position, which is OM is equals to 3 and 1. So here OM is equals to 3, 1. Okay, so this takes us to the second question. So we come to question 2. Okay, we come to question 2 here. So question 9. A, given that E has these elements, A has these elements and B has these elements, find or list the sets that are in A union B. So we say open brackets A union B complement. So the complement is on this entire set. So in other words, we are saying we do not want elements that are found in A and B. So meaning all these elements that are in A and B should not be part of the answer. But we should look at the elements that are there in the universal set, which are not part of these two sets. And when you look at them, you are going to find that A union B complement will give us, the elements here will be 7 and 8. Those are the elements that we're going to find. And this is what we're going to write here. 7 and 8. Those will be our elements, okay? So then we look at the second question. The second question, which is B. Okay, I can start it from here. B, the scale of a map is 1/20,000. 1/20,000. Remember, this is 1 centimeter on the map represents 20,000 centimeters on the ground. That's the interpretation. Okay. The actual area of the residential plot is 60 kilometers square. Okay, 60 kilometer square. So we need to know that. Here. Then the question is calculate the area of a residential plot on. Okay, so here we have, this is what we want on the map, and then this is given as what? 60 kilometers squared. So the task that we have here is this, since this part is squared, then we have to square this side also. So when we square this side, this is going to give us how many zeros do we have? We have 4 zeros, so we are going to have 8 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then these are the zeros that we're going to have. This is equals to x over, so we need to multiply. We need to convert this one into centimeter square. So 1 kilometer square is equals to 10 billion, is equals to 10 billion centimeter square. So meaning we need to multiply this one by 10 billion. So when we multiply this one by 10 billion, it's going to be to have how many zeros? 1, 2, 3. That's 9, 10, 11. So we're going to have like zeros here, zeros, zeros, zeros here. Okay? These are the zeros that we're going to have. Now this is in centimeter squared. We have converted this one. So you multiply this one by 10 billion so that you convert it into centimeter squared. So at this point, even before we cross multiply, we can reduce the zeros. Here we have 8 zeros, so we can cancel all the zeros. Even here we can remove 8 zeros. So we're going to have 1 over 4 is equals to x over, what are we remaining with here? 60,000. So you cross multiply at this point, you have 4x is equals to 60,000. So you divide both sides, 4 here, 4 here. Your x is equals to, into, it's 1. Then into 20 centimeter squared. So this is what will be our answer here, 1,500 centimeter squared. Okay, so we go to question, we come to question 10. Question 10a reads the difference in longitude between town A and B is 105. B is west of A, okay? B is west of A. So for instance, if our A is here, then B is this side, isn't it? West of A, west of A. So that is that. So then we are told that the difference in degrees between the two, in longitude between these two is what? 105 degrees, okay? A family at A was watching a football match at 16 hours. What time did a family at B watch the same match? So we need first to convert this one into hours, okay? To find the difference in time between these two places. When you convert this one, you are going to get what? Okay, what are we going to get here? You are going to get 7 here. You're going to get 7 hours. So these two places have 7 hours difference in time, okay? So now, since B, we want the time at B, which is on the west of A, so you subtract. You are going to subtract 7 hours from 16 hours. You are going to subtract 7 hours from, you are going to subtract 7 hours from 16 hours, and this is going to give us, 9 hours. So we have answered this question. So meaning, the family at B will be watching this match at 9 hours. That is the answer here. Okay? That is the answer here. So we move on to the other question. We move on to the other question, which is B. We move on to B. The distance between P and T is equals to, the distance between P and Q is 3,600 nautical miles. If an airplane flies from P to Q at 600 knots, how long will it take? So we're looking at speed is equal to distance over time. And this question wants us to find time. So time is equal to distance over speed. So what is our distance here? Our distance is 3, okay? And the speed that is there is what? 600. So you cancel, what do you get? So time is equal to 60 hours. So this is 9 hours, and then here we have 6 hours, okay? This is the time that was taken, and then here we are looking at the time at which it was that these people at B watched the match. Okay, so we move to question 11. So question 11 has two parts, A and B. So let's start with A. The transpose of P, the transpose of P is given by this matrix. Write down the matrix P. So we are going to write down this matrix. Okay, we're going to write down this matrix. So we're going to say A, we are going to P, the P which is the original. So these will become, the rows will become columns and columns will become rows. So we're going to have 1, 3, 4, and 2, 5, 1, and 3, 0, and 1. This will be our answer here. Okay, this is going to be our answer for the first one. Then for the second one, okay, for the second one, we are saying, for the second one, we are saying we need to, okay, this is an equation from index notation, okay? So the first thing that we are supposed to do is to make sure that both sides we have the same base, okay? So we are going to write this 16 so that we can have the base which is 2. So we're going to have 2x minus 1 is equals to 2 to the power 4. 2 to the power 4 is the same as what? 16. Okay, so at this point we can say 2 to the power 2x minus 1 is equals to 2 to the power negative 8x. Are we together? Negative 8x. Then at this point now, we need to make sure that we equate the indices. 2x minus 1 is equal to negative 8x. Then we solve this. How do we solve this? We're going to have 2x plus 8x is equals to 1. This is 10x is equals to 1. You divide both sides by 10. Okay, you divide both sides by 10. X is equals to 1 over 10. So x is equals to 1 over 10. Here we write this transpose. That's why it's, the matrix P is supposed to come here. So I'm taking you to question 12 now. So we read question 12. A, it has got two parts. Okay. The diagram below shows a sector A or B of a circle with center O and radius 7 centimeters. The area of the sector is 25 2 over 3 centimeters squared. Take pi as 22 over 7. Calculate angle A or B. So this angle here. In other words, we want to find the value of theta. So the formula that we use to find the area of a circle, okay? The formula that we use to find the area of a circle is area is equals to theta 360 multiplied by pi r squared. So in this case, if you read the question, what we want to find, it's this theta here, the angle. So what we can do, we can make this same theta the subject of the formula. How do we make theta the subject of the formula? If we extend this division line here, okay, we are going to have theta multiplied by pi radius squared is equals to 360 multiplied by area. Now if we go further, theta will remain alone here. We're going to say 360 degrees multiplied by A divided by pi and radius squared. So at this point we can do the substitution. 360 degrees multiplied by, what is our area? Okay, what is our area? Let's look at our area. What is our area? We need to make sure that so you convert this one into, you multiply 3 multiplied by 25, you're going to get a 75 plus 2. So this you're going to get 77 over 3. That's what we're going to get there. Over, what is our pi? Our pi is 22 over 7. What is our radius? Radius is 7 squared. So we say 7 multiplied by 7. Are we together? So we can move on again. So we simplify. So we can say this 3 into 360, it goes into it 120. By what? We are remaining with 77 there. Over 7 into 7 is 1. So we are remaining with 22 multiplied by 7. So again here, we can say 2 here, or 11 into 22, it's 2. 11 into 77, it's 7. 7 here, it's 7. 7 here, it's 1. So we have 2 into 120. We're going to get theta is equals to 60 degrees. So that is what we are going to be writing here. So the angle that we want is 60 degrees. Okay? I'm taking you now to question B of 12. Ngiwezi invested 14,500 in a business firm. The condition was that if she left her shares in the firm for 12 months, a profit of 5% would be added to her shares. How much will she get at the end of 12 months? So we're going to find the 5% of this amount and add it to her principal. Okay? So we are going to get the 5% first. So we're going to say she'll go back with her money, which is this one, plus the 5%, plus the 5% of the same, plus the 5% of the same. So here we have, okay, plus, what do we get 5% of this one? What are we going to get? What is the 5% here? Okay, we're going to get 7. Let's find 7. We're going to get 725. So let's add these two. When you add these two, what are we going to get? We're getting 525. Okay? So that is the amount that Ngiwezi is going to go with. Okay? So now this is what we're supposed to write here. We can say 15,225 00 ngwe. Okay. I'm taking you now to question 12. Okay. To question 13. So we are saying, question 13, the diagram below shows a circle with tangent RWS. This is the tangent. The points V, W, X, and Y are on the circle such that the angle at X, Y, W is 44, V, W, Y is 50, okay, 54, and S, W, V is 39. So before we even answer these questions, me, the way I want these things is you use this information to find some angles that you can easily find, okay? So if this is 44, even this angle here is 44. Why? They are angles in the same segment. Even this whole angle here, this angle there, it's what? It's 44. Why? Angle in the alternate segment. And if this is 54, even this angle here is 50, sorry, this is also 54. Angles in the alternate segment. If this is 39, this is 39, angle in the alternate segment. So this is also 39. Okay? So maybe with that information now we can come and look at RWX. RWX, it's this angle here that we already found. So this is 44 degrees. Then from there, we come to XVW. XVW, we already found this one also as 44. Then YXW, this whole angle here. So we need to add these two. 39 plus 54. What do we get? This is going to give us, what do we get? This is going to give us 93 degrees. So here we have 44 degrees, 44 degrees, 93 degrees. Okay. Now let me move with you to question 14. So question 14A reads, the ratio of the heights of two containers that are geometrically similar is 2 to 3. If the surface area of the smaller container is 80, find the surface area of the larger container. Okay, so let me use this space here. Okay, let me use this space, or we can use this space below here. So we can say our A is equals to the ratios that we have, it's 2 and 3. Okay, now because we are talking about area there, we need to square these. This is equals to, we are told that if the surface area of the smaller what? Of course, the smaller ratio here is 2. So 8 is going to be here, and we are looking for the surface area of a larger container. So we need to square this. What are we getting here? We are going to get 4. We get 4 over 9 is equals to 80 over x. So at this point, we need to cross multiply. So we're going to have 4x is equals to 80 multiplied by 9. So we divide both sides by 4. This is going to be 80 multiplied by 9 over 4. Then you go on. 4 into 80, it's 20. 20 multiplied by 9. What are we getting? We're going to get 180. Okay. So this is going to be 180 centimeters squared. Okay. So I think that is what we're going to get here. 180 centimeter squared. Okay. So now we are going to be Lesson B, in the diagram below, triangle ABC is mapped onto triangle S. ABC is mapped onto triangle STU by a combined transformation. Name two transformations that map triangle ABC onto STU. Okay, so here what we are saying is there are two transformations that were performed in order for this to be mapped onto this one. So I identified that those transformations are translation and reflection. Okay? Translation and reflection. Just like you saw, I tried to sketch this. I'm sure you've seen that there is a sketch. I was trying to work it out. So I saw that if this one, okay, is moved, here. For instance, this point, when we move it from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? When this B comes here, and our A is going to be here, then our C comes here, okay? Or maybe I must try to join it. This is what we are going to have. Okay? This is what we are going to have. Okay. This is what we are going to have. So from this point to this one, this is translation. Then this one can be reflected now onto this one. Okay? So the question now is that we just need to find the mirror line. Okay? So you can measure this one and you will discover that I'm sure it is along this line here. Okay? Along this line. So we are going to say, I'm sure we haven't been told that we should state the mirror line. So this is translation. Then onto this one, it will be reflection. So those are the answers that I found. So we have the translations. Here we have been asked to just name translation as well as reflection. So these are the two transformations that I identified. Okay? These are the two transformations that I identified. Now, I'm taking you to question 15. So question 15 reads, two variables x and y have corresponding values as shown in the table below. The table is here. Given that y varies directly as x squared plus 1, find the constant k. B, the equation connecting y, and then c, the value of a. Okay, so we can start with the, okay, so we need to write the equation here. We can write the, okay, so we can start from here. So because of, we are told that y varies directly as what? So it will be k in terms of kx squared plus 1. So now we need to find the value of k. So we can come to this part where we have both coordinates, the x coordinate and the y coordinate. So y is 20 plus k. What is our x? Our x is 2. So we need to square 2 plus 1. This is going to give us, sorry, this is equals 20 is equals to k multiplied by, what are we getting here? This will be 4 plus 1, 5. Are we together? Then at this point, you divide this side by 5, you divide by 5. So here you remain with k alone, and then you are going to get what? 4. So the value of k is 4. Are we together? So k here is 4. That is our answer. Now I need to take you to B. We are going to B. B is saying find the equation connecting y and x. So the equation was this one. So the only thing that we're going to do will be y is equals to, where is k now? We are putting 4x squared plus 1. This is the equation, and that will be our answer here. Okay? So here we have y is equals to 4x squared plus 1. That's what we're going to get. Okay? That is what we are going to get. Then from there, we go to the last one. C, find the value of a. So when we look at the table, a is coming from which coordinate, x or y? A is coming from x. So meaning a is taking this position. So C, a is going to take this position. We have y is equals to 4a now, okay, squared plus 1. Take note of that. Now, what is our y? Our y is 104, okay? It's 104. So then this is equals to 4a squared plus 1. So I can divide this side by 4. I can also divide this side by 4. So that we have a squared plus 1 is equals to, how many times does 4 go into this number? 4 into 10, it's 2. Remember, 2. 4 into 24, it's 6. Then a squared is equals to 26 minus 1. So a squared is equals to 25. And a is equals to the square root of 25. And you know a square root always produces two values. So it is a is equals to plus or minus 5. So even here, if you want, you can write a is equals to plus or minus 5. Or you can write them separately to say a is equals to positive 5 or a is equals to negative 5. Okay? Please come with me to question 16. Right? So question 16 reads, given that f of x is 8x and g of x is equals to 3x minus 2 over 4, find the inverse of f. What is the inverse of f? So we are saying for a, always, I said, where is fx here? We need to write y is equals to 8x. Then we make this x the subject of the formula by dividing both sides by 8. So x is equals to y over 8. So now to get the final answer, we need to say the inverse is equals to, where is y? We put x over 8. So here our answer is x over 8. Okay. Then we go to b. b is here. b is a composite function. So meaning g must go into f. Okay. f gx. We are saying where where there is x in f, we must put g. So this is 8, open brackets, 3x minus 2 over 4. Now take note that this 4 is a denominator here. So 4 can go into 8. How many times? 2 times. Then you have 3x minus 2. And this gives us 6x minus 4. Okay. So that is what we are going to get here. 6x minus 4. Then here we want to find the value of x. Find the value of x for which f gx is equal to 20. We need this one. This must be equated to what? To 20. So we're going to say C, 6x is equals to 6 minus 4, 6 minus 4 is equals to 20. Okay? We solve this as an equation. So 6x is equals to what? 24. When this one goes the other side, it will be plus. Then you divide both sides by 6. X is equals to what? 4. Alright? X is equals to 4 here. Now again, I'm taking you to the 17th question. Okay? We're going to the 17th question. So let's come to question 17, which reads, in the diagram below, a cyclist starts from town W and cycles on a bearing of 216 degrees to town P. She then leaves town P and cycles on a bearing of 296 to Z. Z is west of W. Z is west of W. In that simply means this is a 90 degrees here. That's what it means. Okay? So now we can come to the angles that they want us to find. So calculate angle PWZ. Angle PWZ, which is this angle here. How do we find this angle? So this angle, you know that when we add these three angles here, the 90 plus this one that we are given and this one, they must give us 360. So to get this angle that we want, we are going to subtract these 2 from 360. So we are going to say this is equals to 360 minus 216 minus 90. We need to subtract these 2. What are we going to get here? Okay? Let's subtract these 2. What are we going to get? We're going to get 54 degrees. So what we're going to get here is 54 degrees. Then the second one is WPZ. WPZ. We want this whole angle here. We want this whole angle. What is it? Okay? So what we are supposed to do first here is we need to extend this north here. Let's extend this north. When we extend this north, it will come down here straight like this. Okay? So after we have done that, we know now that this angle from here up to this one on a straight line, it's 180. It's 180. So let's find this smaller angle. So we need to subtract 180 from this angle. So when you subtract 180 from this angle, you are going to get 36. Alright? So, and again, if this angle here is 36, remember we also need this angle here, which is 36. Are we together? Then which one is, we need the entire part, so we are remaining with this one. This one is easier to find. We are told that the whole angle from this point up to this one is 296. So we need to subtract this one from 260. Okay? We need to subtract this one from 260. So we are going to say this is equals to, from 360. 360 minus 296. What we are subtracting here is going to give us this angle here. Then remember we need the whole thing. So we are going to add the 36. Okay? So 360 degrees minus this angle here, so that we get this smaller part here. Then you add 36 degrees. What are we going to get? Okay? What are we going to get? This one is going to give us 64 plus 36. This is going to give us 100 degrees. So here we're going to get 100 degrees. Are we together? This is what we are supposed to do. All right? This is what we're supposed to do. So I'm taking you to the 18th question now. So the 17th question has two parts. The first one is the diagram below shows a regular hexagonal prism. State the number of planes of symmetry. So what we can do here, the easier thing that we can do is where we just count these vertex 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it has got 6. Then you add the 7th one, the middle one, because we are asking in how many ways can this thing be cut to produce two identical figures. So the answer here is 7 for the first one. Then we come to B. A piece of timber measures 5.25 centimeters long. Calculate the relative error of the measurement. So the relative error of the measurement, is equal to absolute error over the true value. Okay, so here how do we find the absolute error? The absolute error, we need to multiply it by 1 over 2 multiplied by the least unit of measurement here. So the least unit of measurement here, since we have two decimal places, it's 0.01. 0.01. That's what we are going to do. Then we multiply this. What are we going to get? This is going to give us 0.005. Okay? So now we get this 0.05. That is what we are going to write here. 0.005 over 5.25. So maybe to simplify our work, we can get rid of these decimals. Since the first one, this has 3 decimals, so we can multiply both of them by 1000. When we multiply the first one by 1000, it is going to give us 5. It's going to give us 5 over, this one will give us 5250. That's what we are going to get, isn't it? Because we have 2 decimal places. Then we simplify this one. 5 into 5 is 1. 5 into 5, it's 1. 5 into 2, it's 0. 5 into 25, it's 5. 5 in 0. So this is what we're going to get here as our answer. 1 over 1050. That's what we're going to get here. Okay? Then we come to question 19. Okay, so question 19, how are we going to deal with question 19? Are we together? I hope I'm not too fast for you. So let's look at question 13, question 19. So we want to integrate this question. We want to integrate. It's integration now that we are looking at, okay? So what we are going to get here will be, we need to make sure that we integrate. So what is integration? Is where we add a 1 here, okay? So, and then divide. So we're going to say 3x, we add a 1 here. This is going to be 5. Then we divide it, okay? The 5, what we got is divided. Minus 4x minus 3, we add a 1 on this minus 3. So negative 3 plus 1, what do you get? You get negative 2. This negative 2, we divide it here, plus the constant, okay? Plus the constant. So this is going to give us what? 3 over 5x to the power 5. This minus and this minus will give us a plus. 2 into 4, it's going to be 2, and x negative 2. Plus constant. This is what is going to be our answer here. 3 over 5x 5 plus 2 plus c. That's what we're going to get. Okay, that's what we're going to get. So we need now to move on to B. Solve the equation. Solve the equation. Are we together? These things are simple. These things are simple. They just need us to do them well. Okay, these things are simple. So let's come to this one. So we have 2x minus 1. Okay, this is equals to squared. This is equals to 25. Okay, so we need to get rid of these 2 from this side by taking it the other side as a square root. So we're going to have 2x minus 1 is equals to the square root, which is positive or minus of 25. Are we together? Then this we can go on and say 2x minus 1 is equals to, what is the square root of 25? We're going to get a positive or a negative 5. We go on, 2x is equals to a positive or negative 5 plus 1. This one must come the other side. Then x is equals to a positive or negative of 5 plus 1 divided by 2. Divided by 2. So now the x coordinates will be 2 here. Remember here we have got 2 5s. One is a positive, the other one is a negative. So we can start with the first one. Ignore the negative first. So we say, or maybe I should write 5 plus 1 divided by 2. What is this going to give us? This will give us 6 divided by 2. We're going to get 3. So here we have 3. Then the other one is going to be x is equals to negative 5 plus 1 over 2. What are we going to get here? This is a negative 5. A negative 5 plus a positive 1. We are going to get a negative 4. Negative 4 divided by 2. We are going to get a negative 2. So the other value here is going to be negative 2. This is what we are supposed to get. I hope you're following and I'm not too fast for you. All right. Question 20, question 20, question 20. So question 20A, question 20A here. Okay. Question 20A. Saying find the equation of a line which is parallel to this one. Which is parallel to this one, and it passes through this point. So when we are writing an equation, we need this point and the gradient. Okay? When we are writing the equation, we need this point. Okay? We need this point and the equation. Now, we want the equation that is parallel to this one. So first of all, let's find the gradient of this equation. And how do we find the gradient of this equation? We need to write our equation in this form. Then our m will be the gradient. In other words, we need to make y the subject of the formula. So when we do that, we are going to say y is equals to, when this 2x comes the other side, it's negative 2x plus 3. So here our gradient is negative 2. So we have the gradient, and then the coordinates that we have are these ones. So we can call this y1 and x1. So we write now our equation, which we use this formula, mx minus x1. So what is our y1? Our y1 is 3. What is our m? Negative 2. Our x minus, what are we supposed to subtract? Negative 2. So because of this negative and this, we can put a plus here. So this is going to be what? Y minus 3 is equals to negative 2x minus 4. So this is going to be y is equals to negative 2x minus 4 plus 3. So y is equals to negative 2x minus 1. Okay? That is what we are going to get. So it can be like this, or we can write it as y plus 2x is equals to negative 1. So we can say y plus 2x is equals to -1. All right, that is what we're going to write there. Then we read the second question, which is B. The diagram in the answer space below is an incomplete flowchart to calculate cos x. Cos x is cos x for the triangle as shown. Okay. So here, like, we need to know the formula that we use to find the value of what? The angle when the three sides are given. Okay? So in this case, I'm sure you know that when we're dealing with cos x, we're going to write, our formula will be what? Like y squared plus z squared minus x squared over 2yz. Okay? So that is what we're just going to be doing here. So you've seen we've got what letters? Y, Z, and X. Okay? This is capital X. So here on entering, what are we going to enter? We're going to enter X, Y, and Z. Then here now we can say here, okay? We can say cos x is equals to we can say what do we have now? We need to write this same thing here. Okay, we need to write this same thing. Okay, we say, so we can maybe, let's open brackets. Okay, open brackets, then we have y. So we say y multiplied by y plus z multiplied by z, then minus, okay, minus x here, okay, x multiplied by x, okay, then close brackets. After we've closed brackets, then we put slash, okay, slash for division, and again we open brackets. What are we putting here? We are going to write 2 multiplied by y multiplied by z. That's what we are going to get. Okay, this is what we are supposed to write. Okay, so we come to question 21. I was looking at the minutes. I ended up saying 57. Okay, so question 21. We are back. We're almost getting there. We're getting to the end of the paper. We have 2 more questions to conclude our paper. So when you look at this, question 21 reads, in the diagram below, R is unshaded region. Okay, we have R here. Write 3 inequalities which describe region R. Okay, so here, before we even look at, and we have got a special equation. This equation is this line, I mean, we've got this special line. It's coming from 0, 0, and it's also passing through 5, 5. So what are we saying? It has the same coordinates of y as x. Okay? It has the same coordinates of y as x. So that one it's easier. What do we call this line? It's always, in terms of an equation, we say it's y equals to x. In terms of an equation, we say y equals to x. This one, where you have the same code, 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, you understand? So, but in this case, we want the inequality. So, this region below that is not shaded, the region that is not shaded is below. So, meaning it is less. Now, because the line is solid and as opposed to being dotted, we're going to say less or equal to. So this is our first inequality. Then the other two inequalities here, we need to pick 2 points and get the gradient and the process like that. So let's start with this one. We need to identify 2 coordinates that are on this line. So I can get this one, which is 0, 2. And also I get this one, which is 8, 0. Then I think we have tried to find gradient where we are coming from here, if you remember. Okay, we tried to find gradient where we are coming from, even where I was demonstrating on the board, even the other side. So how do we find gradient here? You know, to write an equation, we need the gradient. So we're going to say m is equals to y2, which is 0, minus y1, which is 2, over x2, which is 8, minus x1, which is 0. So it's going to give us negative 2 over 8, which is going to be negative 1 over 4. This is our gradient. This is our gradient. Then we write now the equation using this formula. And I think we've used this formula the other side. So our m is negative 1 over 4. Then for the coordinates here, for the points here, I like picking a point if there's any which has y 0. So like this one, y here is 0, so we can go for this one. Y minus 0 is equals to, what is our gradient? Negative 1 over 4, and x minus 8. Okay, so this is going to give us y is equals to negative 1 over 4 minus, open brackets, x minus 8. So at this point we can cross multiply. I like this 4 should multiply by y, so we're going to have 4y is equals to negative x plus 8. Okay, that is what we're going to have. So we can write this as 4y, this one comes the other side, it will be x is equals to 8. Now what we have written here is not an inequality, it's an equation. So an inequality, we need to bring those symbols. Okay, so when you look at this one here, when you look at this one, this is the equation that we wrote is for this line. So the region that is unshaded for r is above. So we are going to say in terms of an inequality, it's 4y plus x is greater or equal to 8. So that is what we're going to say. 4y plus x is greater or equal to 8. So we repeat the same process even for this one here. So we can pick 2 coordinates. We can start with this same one, which is what? 8, 0, and that one which is 5, 5. Remember, we need to find our gradient first, which is y2, 5 minus 0 over 5 minus 8. This is going to give us what? 5 over negative 3. Are we together? That's what we're going to get. So this negative, this is a fraction, take note of that. This is a fraction. So now we can come and say y minus y1. What is our y1? Let's go for this one. Our y1 is 0. Is equals to our gradient, which is what? 5 over the negative, let's say negative 5 over 3. It doesn't matter where the negative is, it's a fraction. Then we have x minus, what is our x1? Our x1 is 8. Are we together? Then we cross multiply. This 3, when we multiply it by y, we're just going to have 3y, because a 0 is going to give us a 0. This is equals to, remember we have negative 5 here. So negative 5 multiplied by x, we're going to have negative 5x. Negative by negative, we're going to have positive 40. We can rewrite this as 3y plus 5x is equals to 40. Sorry, this is 40 here. So now we need to write this in as an inequality. Okay, so when you look at this line here, of course sometimes we use coordinates this side to test and the other side to prove, but this one, okay, the region that we want is below the line or the equation, so we know that this is less. So we're going to say 3y plus 5x is less or equal to 40. So 3y plus 5x is less or equal to 40. You'll get 5 marks. All right, you get 5 marks for doing that. Let's go to question 22. Let's go to question 22a. Okay, so maybe we can put a demarcation here. Okay, question 22a. Okay, so we have a right angle triangle there that we need to just sketch so that it is easier for us to explain. Okay, so that it is easier for us to explain. So we have this. Okay, so right angle triangle, angle Z, take note, angle Z is 90, so Z should be here. Okay, so we can have X, Y, but Z should be here. So now we are told that sin x is equals to 4 over 5. Sin x is equals to 4 over 5. This is, if this is our x, sin x is equals to 4 over 5. Now you must know that sine is equals to opposite over hypotenuse. So meaning the side that is opposite to this angle here, this is where 4 must be. And the 5 is our hypotenuse. Now, by using Pythagoras theorem, this one gives us 3. Okay? Pythagoras theorem, this gives us 3. So it's going to be like the square root, you say 5 squared minus 4 squared. This is going to give us 25 squared minus 16. This will give us what? 9. And this is what is going to give us 3. Of course, I'm sure you are acquainted with Pythagoras theorem. Then the question now goes on to say, find the value of cos x. So, cos x, what is cos x? Cos x is equals to adjacent over hypotenuse. This is our x. So what is the adjacent here? Cos x is equals to 3 over 5. Okay? Cos x is equals to 3 over 5. The adjacent over the hypotenuse. We are just getting these ones here. So that is that. So we move on to 22b. The diagram below shows a sketch of a graph which meets the x-axis at -4 and right. So find the equation of the graph. How do we find the equation of the graph? B1. So we have the formula, like this is a standard formula that we okay, this is the standard formula that we use to find the equation of the graph. So now here, these are the coordinates that we have here. These are the coordinates that we have here. So when you look at the first one here, what is it? It's -4. It's -4. So when we bring it here as a negative, with this negative that we already have, it is going to add. And the second one, which is b, is this coordinate here. And this is a minus, and this is a positive, so it will be -2. So we can now multiply these ones. What do we get? X multiplied by x, we get x squared. X multiplied by -2, it will be -2x. 4 multiplied by x, it will be +4. To be +4x, then 4 multiplied by -8, then x plus 2x minus 8. So this is what we're going to get. This is what we're going to get here. Okay? So we say y is equals to x squared plus 2x minus 8. Okay. Then we come to B2. Coordinates of the turning point. Coordinates of the turning point, the x coordinate, we use this formula, minus b. So what is b here? Our b is a positive. Okay? So we're going to have minus 2. Then 2 multiplied by our a. What is our a? The coefficient of x squared is just 1. So we're going to have negative 2 divided by 2. So x is equals to negative 1. Okay? So to find the y coordinate, we need to go back here. Where there is x, we put what? Negative 2 plus 2, we put negative 1 minus 8. This is going to give us 1 minus 2 minus 8. And this is going to give us y is equals to negative 9. So the coordinates of the turning point is negative 1, negative 9. So it's negative 1, negative 9. These are the coordinates of the turning point. I'm taking you now to the last question. You must be happy by now. We have come a long way together. Okay? We've come a long way together. You must be tired now. Okay? All right. So this takes us to question 23. Question 23. The diagram below shows the speed time graph of a particle. The particle started off from rest and accelerated uniformly for 10 seconds. 10 seconds. It then traveled at a constant speed of for 20 seconds and then decelerated to rest. Okay. Find V. Find the speed V the particle reached if it accelerated, if its acceleration was 2 meters per. So when we cross multiply here, we get, of course, this is going to be 2 is equals to V over 10. So when we cross multiply, V is going to be equals to 20 meters per second. Okay, that is the value of V there. Okay, that is the value of V. So now we go to question B. So B is saying, given that the total distance covered was 750 meters, find the value of t. So when we are dealing with distance, we always say you find the area under the graph. So this graph forms a trapezium. So we're going to find the area of a trapezium. So we say distance is equal to 1 over 2a plus b. These are parallel sides, h. So this formula must give us what? The distance here is 750. We have 1 over 2. What is our height? The height is what we got here as 20. Then these two parallel sides, the distance from this point up to this one, what is it? It's 20 plus t. Oh, sorry, we can use even the small letter. From this point up to this one, it's what? T. Then we solve now. So we can say 2 into 20, it's giving us 10. Okay? And we have 20 plus t is equals to 750. So you can divide here by 10. You also divide here by 10. So this gives us 20 plus t is equals to 75. So t is equals to 75 minus 20, which is equals to 55. So t is equals to 55 here. Okay? T is equals to 55. Alright, t is equals to 55. T is equals to 55. Are we together? So, after that, we come to the other question here, which is the last one. Question C. I hope this space will be enough here that I have. So, what was the speed at t? So now this is what? 55. So what was the speed at 40 seconds? What was the speed at 40 seconds? Of course, we are saying 40 now is between this point. So speed, see here we are saying its velocity or speed is equals to what? Acceleration multiplied by time and then by the initial. So we need to find the acceleration here. We need to find the acceleration here, which is like the gradient. But because it's sloping downwards, this is going to be a negative. So we can say acceleration is equals to the final velocity minus initial velocity over t. Okay. So what are we going to write here? Here we are looking at acceleration here. So this is going to be, the final velocity is what? 0 minus the initial velocity, which is what? 20 over the time from this point up to this one, it's what? It's 25. So when you simplify this one, it's going to give us negative 20 over 25, which can further simplify as negative 4 over 5. So this is our acceleration. This is our acceleration, okay? So from this point, we now have our acceleration is what? Negative 4 over 5 multiplied by time. So we are looking at now time from this 40-second up to the end, okay? So like here we need to subtract now. We need to find the difference in time. So it is going to be 55 minus 40 here, okay? What are we going to get? What are we going to get? We are going to get 15. So that is what we are going to multiply it with here. We are going to get 15 plus the initial. What is the initial here from this point? It's 20. So 5 into 15, it's 3. 3 multiplied by negative 4, we're going to get negative 12 plus 20. What are we getting? This is going to give us 8 meters per second. So this is going to give us 8 meters per second. Okay, so this is what we're supposed to do. And this brings us to the end of this short presentation. I made this presentation from our school, Nyumbayanga Secondary School. Okay? Nyumbayanga Secondary School. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Okay? Don't forget to subscribe here.